What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to talk about what's happening with Tesla stock and why it's outperforming the markets. I'm going to break down some bullish news that just came out and what's happening with the charts for SPY, Tesla, and the others. But just know that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. The offer ends very soon in just 2 weeks. Anyways, Tesla's testing the 319 area at the 20 EMA as our resistance. And that is the resistance of the day so far. It's going to be very significant. If we manage to break past this, if we do break and hold above this on a 4-hour time frame, we could be trying to get back to this imbalance very close to this 323 area. However, for now, Tesla is just shuffling up here, so it may continue to do that as we shuffle near 319. Now, the question is, why is Tesla outperforming the market, right? The market's selling off pretty aggressively, but Tesla is holding up very, very well. So I want to talk about two pieces of news. The first one was this, which I went over in my morning video about how Tesla announced the 500 kilowatt charging with its new cabinets. This was actually good news because this allows for faster charging. This allows for faster charging by about 30% for the Cybertruck, not to mention, a lot better things up there when it comes to its uh, charging capabilities and charge rates for the other models. There's going to be faster deployments and then new hardware and other factors like that, which is quite bullish. So this was good news. Then we got even more bullish news. Legendary investor Ron Barron, who called out Tesla in the past, he made a bet on Tesla. Tesla would be one of the leading EV companies on the planet. He made that bet many, many years ago, and he's very legendary for that. He correctly predicted that Tesla would be able to scale production and then eventually see a profit when many people doubted Tesla during like very, very hard times, especially like during 2000 like 14, around that period. There's a lot of times when people believed that Tesla would fail, but he had his eyes set on them for a very, very long time. Now he's saying that Tesla could reach a $5 trillion market cap in about 10 years. So that's actually a very, very bullish target. That's still pretty insane because think about it this way, right? The market cap is near $1 trillion right now at about, that's going to be close to like 318 a share. So 5 times that, right? $5 trillion for the market cap is going to be equivalent to just under about $1,600 a share, which is still pretty awesome, a very, very big return for a period like that. But he could be very, very conservative with that estimate because of how fast Tesla may develop a lot of things. So, we could achieve that in a couple of years. 1,500 a share could be achieved within the end of this decade or even before that, within like 5 years. If they come out with the robotaxi very, very quickly and they start getting like a lot of growth because of it, that's dependent on the robotaxi and factors like that. If you look at Kathy Wood's projection, Kathy Wood has the same target in a much shorter period of time, and she could be right too. So it all depends. But either way, guys, we believe that within the next like 5 to 10 years, Tesla will be hitting $1,500, $1,600 a share, if not 2,000 a share. I still believe in that because of autonomous technology. But what I don't know, and that's what I can't really predict, is the speed at which it's going to reach these targets. So 10 years could be a conservative estimate by Ron Barron. He is known for being, more conservative, but he is still ultimately most likely going to be correct, if anything. So what is he saying? Why does he believe Tesla is going to be hitting these levels? He's very optimistic in their future and Elon Musk. And then he said that Tesla, I think, is going to be worth 3 or 4 trillion, if not 5 trillion in 10 years based on the business plan that I'm aware of. He also believes that Elon Musk believes in the longer term and it's going to be worth 30 trillion, which I believe will eventually come as well. He also talked about the importance of Elon Musk and the business plan, and he's very optimistic on the robotaxi being developed. The only thing that's very different, at least from the way he's saying things, is that he has no intention to sell shares right now. He's saying that he could just trim the positions if they get too big. Otherwise, he's very, very bullish on that. But what's different is his timing about a lot of different things. So he is not saying that, oh, we're gonna have a robo taxi in like 2 years. He doesn't know that for sure. He's not even like betting on that. But he's saying that regardless of how long it takes, whether it takes 2 years or 5 years, 10 years, however long it takes to get that robo taxi out, hopefully within the next 5 years, he's still saying he's very, very bullish for the long term. He's in it for the long term, and he believes that Tesla has so much potential nonetheless. That's part of why Tesla's pumping the way it is. Besides that, in terms of our news, there's not really much else that's coming out for the rest of the day, so just keep that in mind. As far as Tesla goes, we are very, very bullish, outperforming the market as a result of this news. So now we have this imbalance. That's going to be our target. I think we're trying to hit that already. So we're doing a good job. Let's see on the 4 hour basis if we close above 319. If we close above 319 on the 4 hour, this will try to push higher. Our targets will be 323. And if that breaks, we could get very close to about 328. It's also another possibility. If you're bearish, you want to see this lose 316. If that fails us, we're dipping closer to about that 312 area. But overall, Tesla is more bullish as long as we try to hold above 319. This will make a nice recovery. I was talking about a dip yesterday. We did dip all the way down to 302 a share. So we did get the dip we were talking about, but now buyers are coming back because of lots of bullish news. Besides Tesla, though, the whole market is just selling off, at least the majority of stocks out there. If you look at SPY, we basically dumped over 1%. We're dumping, but now we're approaching the support. So when you zoom out of the chart like this, you guys can see we have previous resistance becoming support at 585 to 586. This is our support zone. If we hold this, we could try to rebound on SPY to make our way back up to these higher levels like 588 and 590 plus. If we lose 585, I will turn a lot more bearish though. We'll be looking for essentially 583, then eventually the 580 area as our next targets. So far, we're holding 585 to 586, this range. So we'll see if this level holds right here. That's the main previous resistance becoming support and the breakout area. That's a very strong support. So we'll have to see if SPY could hold that. As of right now, just watch that level and we'll see if we hold it. There is a good chance we try to. Notice that on ES, we're at support right now, very close to about the 5,900 area. If we hold this and try to rebound, we could be looking for 5,925 again. If we lose 5,900 though, and we can't get back above it, we're looking for 5,892. That's going to be our next support zone. If that fails, I think we jump all the way down to 5,867. So just keep that in mind. That would drag SPY lower. Let's see if 5,900 holds, 5,900 to 5,892, that range. If that holds, this could try to bounce. So we'll be watching for that on ES. We're at support right now. Nvidia's at support. We called out two levels. I said 144 and 142 are likely coming if that breaks. That's where Nvidia went to. Let's see if we could try to hold this previous resistance becoming support near 142-ish. If we hold this area, we could try to rebound. If we lose 142, though, there is a risk of us coming closer to 140 to fill that gap below. So we're at support on Nvidia. Let's see if 142 holds. Bitcoin dumped exactly as I predicted. I talked about how this would be dipping to about the 88,000 area. We did dip all the way back down there. 88,500 only to get bought back up. So we're just range bound on Bitcoin between the 88 and 92,000 areas. And I think we're just going to consolidate for the rest of the day. We're kind of stuck in that range. For others out there, we have NQ. NQ is looking more bearish. We're approaching 20,525 as our main support, the 200 EMA. If that fails us, we dip lower towards 20,400. And if we hold this, we could attempt to rebound for 20,688. So we'll see how this goes, but there is a risk of this dipping lower if that support fails. We're at support on NQ, so we'll see if it holds. For the QQQ, we actually lost support at 500. Not a good sign. We're looking at this next support right here. So this is basically 498. If 498 fails us on the triple Q, we could be dipping closer to about 495. So we'll see if 498-ish holds. If we hold that range, we'll have to try to reclaim 500. If that gets reclaimed, I think we go back up to 504. Otherwise, this looks a little bit more, it looks weaker, but we're barely holding support at 498, excuse me. So if that fails us, we'll be watching that very closely. For Apple's dipping right over here. We're going to be looking for essentially 223.8. We'll see if we bounce off that. If 225 fails us, we'll give it some time. The IWM is looking more bearish. We almost filled this gap. There's still a risk of downside. We'll have to reclaim 231.6 to turn back up. We're consolidating very close to 230, but there is that risk of downside still on this. So watch 228.5 as our first support, followed by 226. We might come down to fill that gap, though. I don't think we're done yet. So I'm seeing some weakness on the IWM. Coin did better than expected. I was talking about how this might dip a bit then consolidate. We actually got bought back up at 272. So 286 is the main support. If we hold above that, we could be pushing for 300 again. If we lose 286, we turn back down. But as long as we're above, we could try to push. Amazon's looking a little bit more bearish. We're looking for 204 as our main support. If this breaks, we dip closer to about the lower 200s. If this holds, we could try to rebound for at least 206.5. So watch 204. Do we hold this or not? I'll be watching that very closely. For Meta looks a little bit more bearish. We got to try to reclaim 565. Otherwise, there's a risk of us dipping to about 560. Microsoft is more bearish. We could dip a little bit more close to about 416 flat, and we'll see if we bounce off this support or not. If we don't bounce off 416 to get back to about 420, that's what we have to do. If we don't do that, I do see a risk of us getting closer to about 412. So watch and see if that ends up being the case. Google's more bearish right now. We were talking about this gap of if 175 failed us. So we're at this gap support at 173. If that fails us, we look for 171. I think it might be hitting the 171s before it tries to bounce, so it still looks a little bit more bearish to me. And this could drag the QQQ down a little bit, or at least add to some downwards pressure. So we might not be done with the selling yet. There might be a little bit more to come before we see some tech trying to get bought back up. So SPY is trying to get bought back up right here. We're seeing buyers trying to defend at very close to 586, maybe like 585 to 586, that range. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. As far as Tesla goes, though, and I was telling you, most of the tickers are in the red, but Tesla's doing very, very well with all this bullish news involving Ron Barron, not to mention the new supercharger. So this, excuse me, this could try to push higher. We're going to be looking for an attempt to get back up to about 323. Break that, and Tesla will be looking for a push up. So the main thing for me is not even about us pushing. Can we hold above 319 on a 4-hour basis? I'll be waiting for that. Until then, guys, I thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video in a couple of hours, and peace out.